Morning light is one of the most powerful design elements in a traditional Parisian apartment. Rather than treating sunlight as something secondary, classic French interiors often allow natural illumination to shape the entire atmosphere of a room. Tall windows, high ceilings, pale walls, reflective mirrors, and translucent curtains work together to capture and distribute daylight. As the sun moves, architectural details become more visible, creating constantly changing patterns across floors, walls, and furniture. This is why a vintage Paris apartment can feel different from one hour to the next. The architecture itself becomes dynamic, and ordinary surfaces gain visual depth simply because they interact with natural light. The orientation of the windows can also influence how a room feels throughout the day. East-facing rooms may receive gentle morning illumination, while south-facing spaces can remain brighter for much longer. Designers can enhance these qualities with appropriate curtain materials and reflective surfaces. Lightweight linen or cotton curtains soften strong sunlight without completely blocking it, while mirrors can redirect light toward darker corners. Instead of filling a room with artificial brightness, this approach creates layers of illumination that feel natural. The result is a space that changes gradually rather than appearing equally bright from every direction. One of the defining characteristics of historic Parisian interiors is the presence of architectural details that provide visual character before any furniture is introduced. Decorative wall moldings, ceiling cornices, tall doors, fireplaces, parquet flooring, and generous proportions create a strong foundation for decoration. These features demonstrate an important principle of interior design. When architecture already has personality, decoration should complement rather than compete with it. A room does not necessarily need elaborate furniture or dramatic colors when the walls, ceiling, windows, and floors already provide layers of visual interest. Parquet flooring is another important feature associated with many classic French interiors. Patterns such as herringbone or chevron create movement across the floor while maintaining a refined appearance. Wood also introduces warmth and texture, balancing the cooler qualities of plaster, stone, or painted walls. In a vintage setting, small variations in the wood can become part of the aesthetic. Scratches, subtle color differences, and signs of age can make the floor feel authentic. Rather than hiding every imperfection, a timeless interior often allows these characteristics to contribute to the sense of history. Vintage furniture contributes something that new furniture often cannot easily reproduce: evidence of time. A wooden table with a softened surface, an antique chair with gently worn upholstery, or an old cabinet with patinated hardware can introduce a sense of history without requiring an entire room to look traditionally styled. The goal is not to turn an apartment into a museum. Instead, vintage pieces can be mixed with contemporary objects to create contrast. A modern sofa beside an antique side table, for example, can make both pieces feel more distinctive. Proportion is especially important when combining furniture from different periods. Parisian interiors often feel elegant because the furniture maintains a relationship with the scale of the architecture. Tall ceilings can accommodate substantial furniture, while narrow rooms benefit from pieces that preserve comfortable circulation. A beautiful chair becomes less successful if it blocks a doorway, and an impressive cabinet can overwhelm a room if its dimensions are not considered carefully. Good decorating, therefore, begins with measurements, pathways, and function before moving toward decorative decisions. Color in a timeless Parisian-inspired interior is often less about dramatic contrast and more about creating an atmosphere. Soft ivory, cream, warm beige, muted gray, faded blue, dusty green, and natural wood can establish a calm background for architectural details and vintage furnishings. This does not mean the room has to be completely neutral. Small amounts of deeper color can create visual anchors through artwork, upholstery, books, ceramics, or decorative objects. The advantage of a restrained palette is that changing natural light becomes more noticeable because the surfaces respond subtly throughout the day. Texture becomes particularly important when the color palette is quiet. Linen curtains can introduce movement, woven rugs add softness, aged wood provides warmth, and velvet or boucle upholstery can create tactile contrast. These materials prevent neutral interiors from becoming visually flat. Texture also changes the way light behaves. Rough surfaces create tiny shadows, polished materials reflect highlights, and translucent fabrics diffuse sunlight. By combining several textures, designers can create complexity without relying on excessive decoration or strong colors. The lasting appeal of a vintage Parisian apartment comes from its ability to combine history with contemporary life. The architecture may belong to another era, but the way people use the rooms continues to evolve. A historic dining room can accommodate modern gatherings, an antique desk can become a workspace, and a traditional bedroom can incorporate contemporary lighting and technology without losing its character. This flexibility is what makes timeless design different from simply recreating a historical period. The objective is not to live in the past but to allow the past and present to coexist naturally. One of the most valuable lessons is the importance of editing. Beautiful interiors are not necessarily filled with beautiful objects. Instead, they contain the right objects, positioned with enough space around them to be appreciated. Removing unnecessary decoration can make architectural features more visible and improve the sense of calm. A single large mirror may have more impact than several small decorative pieces, while one exceptional vintage chair can become more memorable when surrounded by simpler furniture. This principle creates visual clarity and allows the eye to move naturally through the room.